Welcome to Morning Message for April the 20th. A few years ago, we were in Newfoundland, traveling across the province, and we had to stay in a hotel one of the evenings. And that morning, for breakfast, I decided I wanted Toutons. Now, if you don't know what Toutons are, you've lived a sheltered life. Toutons are a fried bread served in Newfoundland. Let me rephrase that. Toutons are a delicious fried bread served in Newfoundland. And in fact, this particular restaurant we were in, I don't think Toutons were an option. You got them whether you ordered them or not. And they're commonly served with molasses. So I ordered my Toutons, and there was no molasses on my table, and the server asked if I would like some molasses. And I said yes, but just one. She kind of shook her head a little bit, and a few moments later came back with a little cruet, placed it on the table, and said, "Here, your molasses." So molasses is one of those peculiar words that in English doesn't have a singular form, just refers to the bulk of something. You might have to specify how much molasses you want or need in order to get a different portion or whatever. Molasses, the root word there is mel, comes from the Latin for honey, and doesn't come directly into English from the Latin. It goes through the French, and apparently in French there is a singular form for molasses and a plural form, but it's only the plural form that comes into English. And there's lots of words that we have in the English language that are either singular in form but refer to many things, or plural in form that can also refer to just one thing. And there's no rhyme or reason to that as far as I can tell. It's just the way the English language seems to deal with things. And so we have the word molasses. Regardless of how much you want, refers to the bulk of something rather than one bit of it. The reason I'm talking about plurals today is because of a very important prayer that we're taught in the scriptures, and that is the Lord's Prayer. It seems almost as if the apostles go to Jesus and say, "Teach us to pray," because he hadn't taught them to pray. Other religious leaders and political leaders of the day would have taught their disciples how to pray, and apparently maybe Jesus hadn't yet taught his disciples how to pray. So they go to him with the question, "Lord, teach us to pray." And he teaches them the Lord's Prayer. And those first two words I think are very important, "Our Father." It's plural, not the Father part, but the our part. We relate to God in the plural. God relates to us in the plural, as a community, in other words. Community is very important to our understanding of God and our understanding particularly of our relationship with God. And we have certain expectations of ourselves as Christian people. And I think it's sometimes really important for us to realize that many of those expectations, those responsibilities, are corporate ones. They're ones that we share. So an example of this is I can't single-handedly solve the world hunger issue, but collectively, together, we can. I mean, it is a lot of individual kind of activity. I can buy that extra thing at the grocery store and leave it in the bin for the food bank. I can help out with a soup kitchen. I can make donations to things like the Primates World Relief and Development Fund, and many other things besides that that I can do. But effectively, we're doing together. We're doing corporately in order to address those sorts of issues. I think it's really important for us to remind ourselves that the responsibilities that we bear as Christian people are, for the most part, corporate responsibilities that we work together to do the things that God expects of us, to love our neighbors as ourselves. I should also point out that in our house, we don't have to worry about whether molasses is plural or singular. We just ask for Crosby's. God bless. Amen.